It's you guys. I'm so sorry about that. I didn't see you click on this video for sure, so. Well, anyways, hey everybody, it's Ackleyattack4427 here, and, yeah. You know who I am, and you know it's the place to be, and all that sort of stupid shit, but yeah. Yeah, I guess, if anything, for starters, before I begin today's thoughts video, let me say right now, probably by the time I'm recording this video, I will say, Happy Labor Day, everybody, so yeah, I guess if anything, probably by the time this video goes live, Labor Day has officially come and gone as we speak, but moreover, August is officially right behind us, and we're now in September at long last, so yeah, you know exactly what that means for sure. That of course means that summer vacation is officially coming to an end, and it's time to get your kids to go back to school as normal. So yeah, but of course for us, life goes on as normal for sure, and yeah, I guess within the matter of time, the cold weather is starting to kick in as we speak, and yeah. All that sort of stuff to show that autumn or fall is, of course, already on the horizon as we speak, so yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front, so yeah, but I guess if anything, I guess it's back to business as normal for sure, and yeah, this one I've been long overdue to actually talk about this one for sure, but I guess if anything, I think it deserves the attention it needs for sure, or lack of attention for sure, because, yeah, I guess if anything, yeah, part of me wish I didn't want to check this movie out for sure, but I figure I have to for sure, just to give you something, a little something, of course, on my channel for sure, So yeah, I guess with that being said, I think it's about time that we finally get ourselves into officially talk about today's movie that I finally got the chance to go see today for sure, and yeah, part of me did kind of wish I would have seen it much earlier for sure, but I guess with everything else that's been going on revolving around my family for sure, I figure maybe now's a good time for me to officially talk about this one for sure, so yeah, I think it's pretty much what I could say, of course, on that front, so yeah, with that being said, it's time, folks. I really didn't want to talk about this movie, but I suppose I have no choice for, of course, this one, so yeah, I guess with that being said, I think it's about time that we finally get ourselves in for sure, and officially talk about the latest movie that I just got the chance to go see not too long ago, which is none other than The Crow. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. It is, of course, the latest film that just came out not too long ago, and I have the privilege to officially go see it as of recently for sure, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Okay, so before I could go ahead and talk about this latest movie that came out, well, seeing how it is entitled The Crow, I think it makes sense to actually talk about, well, The Crow as a whole, so yeah, for those who actually don't know exactly, The Crow is definitely one of the most dark and surreal comic book movies that has been around for quite a few decades now for sure, and yeah, I guess if anything, we do know the good old classic comic book series of the same name for sure, but when it comes to, of course, anything revolving around The Crow, I think the one thing that definitely comes into mind would definitely have to be pretty much the movie released back in 1994 for sure, so yeah, you definitely know exactly the one I'm actually talking about for sure. Yeah, pretty much gained itself a massive cult following ever since it actually came out, and bit of an interesting thing that I should mention Yeah, pretty much the original 1994 version stars Brandon Lee, who is indeed the son of a well-known actor and martial artist Bruce Lee. So yeah, that's definitely the Crow movie that I'm actually talking about for sure. And if you haven't seen that Sega movie, I do think you should definitely check it out. I actually got to not too long ago for sure, and I definitely do think it's actually a very well done comic book movie they actually did, and I really got myself intrigued, of course, what's been going on throughout the course of it that really got me hooked on, and I really want to see more of it for sure. Of course, given to all that, I can't mention this movie without mentioning for the fact that Brandon Lee himself, who was actually in that movie, was of course accidentally killed on set by a defective gun blank for sure. So yeah, as much as I really do love the original Crow, I can't pretty much I can't actually look past the massive tragedy that happened while they were making that movie for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. But yeah, regardless of course, that front, The Crow is still a really great comic book movie dating back from the 90s for sure, and yeah, gave us something really intriguing for sure, alongside a really great performance from Brandon Lee, may he rest in peace. And yeah, I definitely do think it's actually one of those comic book movies from back in the day that I do think is well worth checking out for sure. While of course it's sequels that came out afterwards, City of Angels, Salvation, and of course Wicked Prayer. Yeah, don't even bother seeing all three of these sequels by far. They're absolute crap for sure. So yeah, but regardless on that, The Crow is still definitely one movie I could definitely recommend hands down if you want a really great comic book movie that really got itself pretty much a dark and surreal twist to it for sure. And again, that was all the way back in 1994 for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I could say. Of course, that front for sure. Now, I guess in regards to the new one that came out, well, I remember when I first saw the trailer for of course, the remake that Lionsgate was actually pushing out for sure. I will admit, I was not really excited to actually see it for sure, and I felt that it was going to crash and burn hands down for sure. And I don't know, maybe I think it's because I wasn't actually intrigued, of course, on what they actually what it's actually been given, or of course that a lot of us have actually stuck to the Brandon Lee version for sure, which might actually be the case for the latter for sure. So yeah, but regardless on that, I still want to give this movie a fair shot just to see on how it actually turn out for sure. So, of course, I did manage to get myself into, of course, a Rico Cinemas that I went to down in Ithaca for sure to finally check this movie out for sure. And, well, of course, now that I've officially got back from, of course, seeing it not too long ago, I bet a lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this movie now that I finally got the chance to see it? Well, from what I understand, I do know it's gotten some pretty bad reception, not only from critics, but not pulling in a great box office numbers for sure. And I'm not gonna lie, I do have to side with that for sure, because this movie by far, yeah, it was really bad for sure. Yeah, not only do I think it's actually pretty slow and generic that left me feeling absolutely empty inside, but it is also a chore to watch for sure, because this movie is, of course, not just bad on my part, it is, of course, boring. Yeah, that's pretty much what I can say to describe this movie as a whole. This movie is, in fact, boring. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, so now that I've actually got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about with, of course, this film. Now, for starters, is, of course, the story, and honestly, to me, I wasn't really intrigued, of course, what I've actually seen with the story for sure. Everything from what I'm actually seeing is not only generic and bland for sure, but I find it all the more confusing, of course, on my part. Like, I literally have no idea, of course, what goes on while they were making this one for sure, and I really do felt that if maybe they would have added something that will make it all the more interesting to watch, then I could tolerate this a whole lot better. But given to what I've actually seen by far, I think, if anything, it's almost like, pretty much if anything, they actually stuck with, of course, what they actually pretty much put down for sure, and decided to not putting any changes whatsoever for sure, which is actually a shame, because if you want to do a remake, you have to improve on something the original was lacking for sure, and I know a lot of movies that are remakes nowadays have actually been great for sure. I dare even say even as great as the original for sure. But for the case of this movie, it's not an improvement whatsoever. And yeah, it just follows everything pretty much. If everything, yeah, it pretty much follows everything. Pretty much on what it has to do, pretty much saying, oh hey, we want to try to do something similar to the original source material, so there you go. Well, that's all fine and good, but can you actually give us something that's actually interesting alongside all that? Well, I guess for the sake of this movie, probably not for sure, So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for, of course, the story for, of course, this film. Now, as for the writing, I have to say, yeah, that too I felt was, of course, incredibly sloppily put together for sure. As writing-wise, I really don't think it actually really got me hooked on all the way to really get me intrigued, of course, all that for sure. And it's almost like pretty much they went with pretty much like the first two drafts for sure, and not putting any revisions whatsoever to actually make it all the more incredible for sure. To which, yeah, if I was helming the project and I actually saw the script in such a really shitty state for sure, then yeah, I think I wouldn't actually accept it for sure and decide to implement massive rewrites to really make this all the more incredible for sure. So yeah, those are, of course, what I can say for, of course, the story and the writing for of course, this movie as a whole, So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so yeah, now that I've actually got those two out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple of things I need to talk about, which are, of course, for starters, the characters, and yeah, I guess if anything, from what I understand, the characters, I will have to say, yeah, I really don't think I actually got myself hooked on with, of course, the characters by far. Every single one of them I've actually seen are not really that likable to me, and they're not given much development to actually make them interesting for sure. And yeah, with everything from, of course, what I've actually seen, I think I find myself not caring for, of course, any of the characters for sure. Like, I never actually care for, of course, pretty much the main protagonist for sure. I never cared about the villains in, of course, this film. Nor do I even care about the supporting characters for sure. And for what I will say, I think some of them are trying their best to make, really give them development for sure. This, I just felt really didn't hit the mark all the way to actually make them interesting for sure, So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, for, of course, the characters for sure. Now, as for the actors that came on board to play out these characters, now, if there's one thing I actually can give credit to this movie for sure, is that I will have to say for the actors for sure, they are trying their best to actually pretty much work around the material and actually try to give off some performances that may, of course, be nice, but from what I'm actually seeing, I think they're massively off with, of course, their performances for sure. And yeah, I think they pretty much range from, of course, pretty much mediocre to just standard at best for sure. Yeah, and moreover, some of them I really don't think actually gave off a really great performance entirely for sure. And there's, of course, one thing I should mention. This movie actually does have Bill Skarsgård, who I actually did I did talk about pretty much one of his films that he did, which was, of course, pretty much one of the two It movies for sure. And compared to pretty much to that and this film, I will say Bill Skarsgård actually does give off a really entertaining performance as Pennywise for sure, and that does make sense to really give off that kind of performance for sure, because he definitely wants to make the character itself actually all the more scary for sure. That would actually make him interesting for sure, and be actually the reason for our heroes to actually conquer him on for sure. Now that actually does make sense, of course, both It movies, and Bill Skarsgård actually really does capture that quite well for sure. But I don't know what was going on when Bill Skarsgård signed on board for, of course, this film for sure. It's almost like I think he's trying to give himself off as he pretty much trying his best to be like a pretty much a moody, gothic type of person for sure, but clearly doesn't know how to for sure. And yeah, I really don't know what's going on when he actually signed on board for, of course, this film for sure, because trust me when I say I think his performance in this film probably needs a whole lot more work for sure, but hey, I can't fault Bill Skarsgård entirely, because I do know he's a good actor, and he has done a lot of good movies in the past for sure, but this is definitely not one of them for sure, So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the characters and the actors as a whole for sure, so yeah. Alright then, so yeah, now that I've actually got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Oh, I can name quite a whole lot for sure. Now, for starters is, of course, well, seeing how this is a gothic superhero flick for sure, I think we might as well go ahead and talk about the action for sure. And honestly, to me, I think from what I've actually seen by far, the action in this film is very lackluster, to say the least, for sure. All it is just nothing but a bunch of fist fights and gun firing and stuff, to which, yeah, in a really great action film for sure, those can work for sure, as long as, of course, you can do something very creative to actually get us hooked on for sure. But the action, of course, this film is just way too bland and generic for sure, that really didn't get me hooked on all the way for sure, and moreover, I really don't think it really got me hooked on for sure. In fact, if anything, it actually left me yawning for sure, almost like I'm on the verge to fall asleep at certain points for sure. And yeah, I really don't think they really planned out the action quite well, and of course, this film for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the action for sure. While the visuals and the effects for sure, well, I guess if anything, for while there are one or two that really caught my eye for sure, I think all the others for sure really doesn't blend in quite well. It's probably the wrong setting to actually put it in for sure. Like, of course, most of the sets I just kind of felt were way too dark for sure for me to see, let alone yeah, see, I definitely do know this is a gothic superhero flick for sure, and I'm not a fan of goth myself, because I've never actually entered that phase for sure, but yeah, I think if anything, that kind of tone for sure is just way too much, almost like pretty much any other goth person would actually look at it and be like, okay, you need to take it down a notch. So yeah. I think it's probably what I could say, of course, that front. And plus, pretty much the different blood effects for sure is just not really that gripping to me. That it does make me wonder, was it actually worth the R rating for sure? But yeah, I think they really could have actually worked that out a whole lot better for sure. And yeah, given to what I said earlier, I should definitely mention the tonguing atmosphere for sure, to which, yeah, I guess given to what I've actually said earlier, the tone and the atmosphere, of course, this film, I just really don't think it actually matches quite well with, of course, the style of course, this movie that it's actually been giving us for sure, right? And even the pacing, I have to say, really doesn't follow through entirely. That I really couldn't get myself hooked on all the way for sure, right? Like whenever something action-packed shows up, or a slow scene actually happens, or pretty much a mixture of both. I think I was literally looking at this, pretty much thinking to myself, am I really caring at this point? Because trust me, I'm not. So yeah, that's pretty much what I could say, of course, that front for sure. Now, for the direction in this film from the film's director, yeah, I don't know what's going on when he actually directed this film for sure, but to me, I think it's just massively off for sure, and I really don't think it really got me hooked on with, of course, pretty much with the style of directing for sure that the film's director is giving. And granted, I know this guy has done a lot of good stuff in the past, but this is definitely one that he really missed the mark on for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I could say on, of course, that front. And as for the cinematography, I have to say, well, I guess that's another thing that I will give this film credit for, is that pretty much for its cinematography, it's actually pretty decent. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. They actually did provide some pretty decent camera shots for sure to make this film look good for sure. And yeah, I will have to say, I think, I guess if anything, I think it definitely worked quite well for sure. That really got me pretty much intrigued with, of course, what they actually did for sure. But of course, it all goes back to being downhill from here for sure. As for another aspect for sure, the editing, I have to say, yeah, I really don't think they really did an incredible job with the editing either. I think it's just way too. Yeah, I think it's not really edited quite well for sure, almost to the point of being edited poorly for sure, so yeah, and I think maybe, I guess, several cuts here and there, I just felt really don't work entirely for sure, and that's just to name me a few for sure, so yeah, those are pretty much what I could say, of course, on all those for sure. I could go on and on entirely for sure, but to me, I just really can't at this point, because this movie really took a lot out of me for sure, so yeah. And I'm not saying that in a good way for sure. Alright. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie for sure. So yeah, overall, yeah, I think with everything from what I've actually seen by far, The Crow is nothing more but a pretty much a bland and generic actionless movie that I really couldn't get myself hooked on to for sure. It doesn't work from a storytelling point of view, and I really don't think it actually works well as pretty much its own thing for sure. And I do feel bad because, if anything, there's a lot of possibilities that you can actually do with, of course, this one, and pretty much they did actually had some great ideas when they first started working on this, but I guess it all went right out the window for sure, because I don't even know what was going on behind the scenes for sure, because if anything, I really don't think pretty much everything in this movie actually pretty much worked as a whole, with only a couple of exceptions for sure. So yeah, it's definitely one of those that really isn't worth your time for sure. And yeah, my big advice by far, yeah, definitely don't plan on seeing this movie for sure, because yeah, you're definitely not gonna get much from what you actually see by horror for sure. And given to, of course, some of the other movies that are pretty much on that level, that's saying a whole lot for sure. But I will say this: if you actually want to see pretty much a Crow movie that is, of course, action-packed, thrilling, and can give off some great performances all the way, just watch the Brandon Lee version by far. I think you're actually going to be in for something really great with, of course, that one for sure. And again, it actually gave us pretty much a great performance from the late Brandon Lee for sure. So yeah, if you actually do want to see The Crow as a movie done right, then the Brandon Lee version is definitely on there for sure for you to check out for sure. While for the case of this film for sure, for while I can't necessarily say it's as bad as the sequels to the original Crow for sure, this I definitely do think is still pretty bad for sure. Yeah, it is, of course, a boring one to see all the way, and I think you're better off skipping that film entirely and probably going for something else for sure. Which, yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say as a whole for sure. The Crow is, yeah, pretty much the original Crow is still a timeless classic comic book movie that I know hands down that you're going to be in for something really great, while The Crow from this year is the exact opposite for sure. So yeah. That's pretty much what I can say as a whole for sure. It's a bland and forgettable mess that I really don't think it's actually worth your time checking out, nor would it ever for sure. So yeah, and trust me when I say that this is definitely yeah, that if you're looking for something that might give you something quite interesting for sure, aside from the what we got with the original, then I say probably not, because trust me when I say that this is definitely one Crow that definitely won't guide you anytime soon. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, for my final score, yep, I'm afraid I have to give this one for sure. So I'm definitely gonna give The Crow a 2.5 out of 10 as my final score by far. Yeah, truly a terrible and bland, and of course, moreover, forgettable movie that I think hands down that you should probably skip hands down for sure. And yeah, and don't tell me that you're probably gonna get much from, of course, seeing it, because you're not for sure. So yeah, with all that said and done, that's pretty much what I can say about this movie as a whole. So yeah. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say for, of course, this one for sure. So yeah, but I think I might as well ask, I want to know what you guys think for sure. What do you think of The Crow, if you've actually seen it very recently for sure? Do you absolutely disagree and think you absolutely really enjoyed this movie all the way? Or do you actually agree and think it's one that you can easily skip over anytime soon? Or are you somewhere in between where you think it's just okay for the most part? So yeah, let me know what you thought of this movie down in the comment section below. I would definitely love to know what you guys think. So, oh my god. Yeah. Glad I finally got that off my chest, and yeah, it just left me physically empty for sure. Like, there is actually no hope in me left for sure. However, seeing how we're already in September as we speak, I think there might be some opportunities for some other movies that are going to be coming out. And I think I have an idea, of course, what I'm going to be talking about in the next Thoughts video that I did. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm going to be talking about, but I'm sure a lot of you guys may be wondering, what am I going to talk about next? Well, I think we might as well step away from, of course, this movie right now, and actually finally get the chance to talk about pretty much the epic return of Tim Burton for sure. Yeah, I guess it's been quite a few years since I talked about a movie directed by Tim Burton for sure. But for the sake of his movie that is going to be coming out, that I will talk about in the next Thoughts video, it's pretty much on the big, massive, epic return of the Ghost with the Most. Oh yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about for sure. So yeah, if you can easily guess, of course, what I'm going to be talking about next for sure, then I think you're going to be in for something really great. But I guess until that comes around, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427TV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyattackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.